The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello, and hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 144. If you can't believe it, I can hardly believe it. But I've been here for all 144 of them.
What?
Yeah, what?
Okay.
My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. And sitting to the left of me this evening is the game changer herself, Jess.
Hello.
Hello. Sitting to the right of me is the Troublemaster of Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Okay, and also sitting to, in my case, it would be the left up corner of where I am. It is our friend, Fernando from San Diego. But it's not from San Diego, it's just Fernando. Hello, Fernando.
Hello, it's not too late. You can still send me back.
Still send you back. We've been wanting to have him on the show for a long time. He's been there since probably episode 4 or 5, I would imagine.
How far back?
I want to say almost like episode 1 or 2.
Seriously?
I found you guys like right away, yeah. But I don't think I started commenting and like getting involved until a little bit later on.
Okay.
But I found you guys when you guys didn't have a whole lot of episodes out there and stuck with you ever since.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, episode 4, I thought was the best one we'd ever done.
Ever.
Oh, Lord.
Here we are, 140 episodes later.
And we're still trying to attain that lofty level of
we've had some highs.
episode 4, yeah.
We've had some definite highs.
Yeah.
Well, hey, if this is your first time joining us, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us. We really do appreciate it. We hope you will find the water to be warm. If you are a repeat listener, welcome home. Tonight's show is brought to you by you people, you Patreon supporters. If you'd like to get on this pirate ship of ours, you can. You can go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon link. We make it super simple. $1, $3, and $5. You can do a one-time payment or a recurring payment. And on top of that, we've got some really cool gifts on our site for t-shirts. And it's all very accessible. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we can actually meet you there. We've got one of those cool link trees that has everything on there, every kind of way you can connect with us. So there should be no excuses. Tonight, again, we are going to be talking to Fernando. We're going to be going over the news, and he's going to be talking to us about his recent trip to Alani.
Mm-hmm.
Very few of us have been out there.
Yeah.
And he's going to give us a first-hand experience of how that all works. But 101 is dark tonight, I presume.
Yes, but she will be back soon.
Good, yes. Good. Yes, the LTP family does need more of that.
They are demanding that.
They are demanding that because Udi and I can only carry this for so long.
Demanding it.
Fair. All right.
See? Okay.
You got it.
So Fernando's going to do the news with us. We have a lot to cover tonight. And what? Yes, sir.
And then add to why Fernando is with us this evening. One of the other reasons why.
Because he's a Patreon listener. He's
go.
a Patreon listener. Yeah, a supporter, I should say. You still are supporting us, right?
No comment.
Okay.
I still am.
I'm just joking. No, and for that you do get to be on the show, and you do get to be part of the LTP family.
Yeah.
I mean, you are, but you get to be part of this. I don't want to call it the LTP experience, but you get to be on here and hang out with us, and we are that. Jess is laughing.
Yeah. No, because Jess is an experience. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys hush.
That's for a different show.
Cookie, are you
that's
happy
for the
that you're a
Patreon
cat
only
living here?
subscribers.
There you
We
go.
actually talked about doing that
Cookie, do
at
you
one
like
point, having extra
Mitcher,
content for
your brother,
Patreon
more
listeners.
than your
But
sister Osuna?
first time listeners are going, these guys aren't talking about anything Disney.
The
We
first
will.
one's better.
Okay, so let's do it.
We're doing housekeeping.
Yeah, Fernando, do you have an opening question for us?
Yeah, so I changed it up a little bit. So my opening question to you is, what single time or ride in the park means the most to you?
I got mine.
You said or ride?
Oh, more like specific, either like watching of a show or on the ride, but like a specific moment within the park. I don't know if I
All right, I got
kept that too vague.
Oh my gosh, dude. To narrow it down to one is hard.
Yeah, it is hard. I got mine though.
Okay.
I got mine.
Jess, go ahead.
For me, my specific time, if that is hard, it would be at the 50th for me when we went for the 50th, and to listen to them sing the birds on the piano.
Oh,
The
yeah.
birds on the piano.
Richard Sherman.
Yeah, you sent me that video.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and just to stand there and actually be a part of that and to watch it
Yeah.
and hear it was just something that, I mean, you didn't pay any extra money for it. It was just something that you got into the park that day, and that was the moment. That it was. I mean, if Walt could, you felt Walt there. Walt was there, and it was just something that was really, really cool to see and be a part of.
Yep. I've seen videos of that, and every time I see videos of that, I literally get goosebumps on my arm and shivers, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Just because Richard Sherman is like
He was
a living
he was part
legend.
of Walt.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so, and then you go back to thinking, sorry to cut you off, Mark, like, you go back to if you watched, oh my gosh, see, you guys, this is why you don't drink wine all day long.
Oh, saying Mr. Banks?
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, and like, even the documentaries, like of them sitting around that piano and them writing Feed the Birds and playing it for Walt and just doing that whole thing, and then to be a part and sit there and listen to that song be played by the person that wrote that song, and stood there and presented it to Walt is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, I can't top that.
Good one.
No, but yeah, and he's, again, I'll just say this: he's one of the last links to Walt we have living.
Yeah.
And there's only a handful left, which is, I hate to say that, but that is the truth of the matter. But yeah, that's a great time. See, I thought you were gonna say Orlando Bloom when you smelled him.
When I smelled him, yeah, I don't even remember what he smelled like. I was so tired. No, I mean, the Pirates, like, that whole experience was really cool too.
Mhm.
But that was something you had to pay extra for. So for me, it was like, I mean, I didn't pay it, but it was something that you had to put a lot of extra money to go to, and it was a cool experience. And I mean, I wouldn't trade it, but nothing beats having that connection to Walt right there.
Right.
Yeah. What about you?
I've got okay. Honestly, on every trip I go to, there is like this. There's a moment in time where I go, this is great. This is a fun time. Like this last trip with Wendy and I, it was so cool.
But dude, you told me you barely made it through that trip.
Well, no, I recovered.
I'm kidding.
No, because I was tired. You mean?
No.
Oh, you're lying. Just
I'm only saying that because Wendy's
getting her to share experiences, the stuff that I like was really a great thing for me to do, and there's going to be many more of those trips. But I guess, even like I said, every trip, even Rise of the Resistance was phenomenal. Going with my sister was phenomenal. That was the same day. But I guess I have to go back when the girls were like 2 and 5, the first time they'd ever been to the park, and bringing them in and letting them, which would become a lifelong, so far in their lives, a Disneyland thing. They love it because of that trip, and I think that's what really started it all. For me, I guess the second wave of Disneyland fandom for me was it started then. So I guess I have to start with that. But every trip we've been on has been super fantastic, and I go, this is a great time. I could pull something from it. That's my cheap answer.
Yeah.
So,
I have a couple because they are. I have really in three. Only because those are all at that high level. One will be the Christmas trip of my, I think it was eighth birthday, and I told the story before about going to the park on Christmas Eve, coming back, and just having the entire day there and being with my family. And I've said it before that Christmas in the park for our family has always been a special time. So that one. The other one would be anytime, again, with my family, hanging out with my mom, and her absolute love for the Tiki Room. Loves it every time.
I'm going to say this. We're going to have Marcy on in a few episodes. You better get that right. Walt Disney's
I know.
She will shut you down.
No. I know. I kept it brief. But yeah, Walt Disney's Enchanted
There you go.
Tiki Room. But those were all great. I mean, those go back into my connection as a child with the park. Now I'm going to go back to our most recent, defining moment, which would be January, Rise, the opening. Not only because of what that attraction is, the next real evolution in attraction and riding.
Themed entertainment.
Yeah, themed entertainment, but being able to share that with Mark and Jess, and then your daughters, and then and Seth, and having that family there on that day, you it will be etched in my. I'm gonna be 90, hopefully 100, and be somebody's gonna come and ask me hey. So what are the things you remember? What are the things you hold on and be dude, this one trip to Disneyland? Really? Yeah, remember, Rise of the Resistance? They may not even be around by then.
May not be there.
And I go, that day.
Yeah.
So no matter what comes from here on, I know we will have other days that mean that much. I know because of just how we are with each other and the LTP family and what we do and what we love. But I know they're gonna come but that one is gonna forever stay in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. What about you, Fernando?
I don't know. Is it the time that I ran into Nicolas Cage behind Splash Mountain, or when I saw O-Town performing the Inspector Gadget theme song?
Oh my God! Best. Where?
Tomorrowland.
On the stage?
On the stage, they were doing a preview. So that the day after the day we were there, they were supposed to do some big Disney Channel filming thing. But when we were there, they were doing a preview. So they did 2 or 3 songs, and we were in line for I forgot what it was, that kind of roller coaster that replaced a people mover for a little bit. That was
that's
breaking down.
Rocket Rods.
Yeah,
Rocket Rods. We were in line for that, and they were performing, and some girls were kind of freaking out. They're oh my God, who is that? And there's a sign that literally said O-Town. It's O-Town. And they're oh my God, I love them. It's you were just asking who they were. We didn't even know who they were. But no, I think my real one is I touched on it the last time I was on, when me and my brother forced my mom onto the log ride.
Splash Mountain? Yeah.
So that trip that we went to, my mom was always the type to take lots of pictures and just stop in the middle of whatever we were doing to take a million pictures.
Yes.
And we were walking from Cars Land through to the kind of Pacific Wharf area, that back little area where it's like a little path. You kind of see like the tracks, but like the rocks and stuff like behind where you're at. It's a great picture spot. I think they even have a little like Kodak thing there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she stopped and she wanted to, take a picture. And it was just one of those things where like, we always used to get annoyed with my mom in a sense because she was taking like a million pictures. But you're just looking around that area, looking around at like all the colors of everything and just how, pretty it is. And, even though it's in a sense fake and made up, like it's just a really, beautiful spot to kind of just stop and admire for a second.
Yeah.
We stopped and we took the pictures and, we have those pictures to hang on to like now that she's gone. But it just kind of was a reminder of like slowing down and just appreciating kind of some of the details too, some of the things that you overlook sometimes when you have a pass and you're in a hurry to go from point A to point B. It's like, hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to just slow down and I'm glad that we have those pictures. And it's a really great spot just for like anyone. We've taken tons of pictures there, since. And I think that moment of just stopping for like a few minutes to get those shots in was probably like something that I'll hang on to for the rest of my life. I know that.
Oh, for sure. That's a really good memory to have, man.
That and O-Town, like I said, eighth best boy band of the late 90s or whatever.
O-Town. Yeah, I haven't heard those guys referenced in a while.
All right, so bonus question, Jess, rank the boy bands from the late 90s, early 2000s. It's your top three.
NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees. Boom.
There you go.
We agree.
Yeah, there you go. 98 Degrees. I forgot about 98 Degrees.
There were so many.
there were so many. Right on. Well, that was a really good opening question.
Yep.
Okay. You want to hop on over to the news?
Yeah.
Nothing else for that?
No.
Okay.
We're good.
Cool. Excellent. Let's go over to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Hey, and now we are doing the news. Udi's got the list in front of him because we've got the dueling iPads and the way we had to set up my iPad's being utilized to do the audio. Udi's got the text in front of him.
Okay.
So now Udi's going to start with the news.
Okay,
All
we're
right.
gonna begin with. Hold on. Let me go back with holiday foods.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're in the holiday season. We did take a bit of a break for Thanksgiving. We all had to take a breather. Been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yep. But with that, we're here. We're back. We're ready to go into the holiday season all together. I'm looking at Jess with her tree in the background.
Hello.
And my candy cane sweatshirt.
Yeah, and her candy cane sweatshirt that says home. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so we're going to begin with the new cinnamon crisp and pork pozole.
Ooh. Where do you find that?
Hold on. Oh, in Rancho.
Yes.
Oh, man. I will be, well.
In less than a month.
That is the current plan. We'll see if it comes to fruition. But I will be in the park on the 21st and the 22nd. Or at the minimum, the 21st. It may only be one day. But I will be going with my family.
Okay.
So it's going to be kind of a big day.
I was thinking about going that week, so good to know.
Monday.
You are thinking about going that week?
Yeah, we'll get into that after the news.
Okay. Anyway, so that actually looks really good, and I'm a fan of pozole. Anybody else? Fernando, pozole?
Oh, I love pozole.
Yeah, me too.
What is it?
Delicious.
It is. It's like a hearty Mexican stew.
Okay, I like stews.
Oh yeah, no, it is great. My mom makes a great pozole.
What's the beans and some sort of
Yeah,
meat?
you have garbanzo beans, vegetables, chicken, seasoning. It's a whole kind of a big pot of like goodness.
Okay, I'd be into that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Do you usually have it with cornbread or some sort of bread? Cornbread's not a...
No.
Okay, some sort of roll?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't. Okay. What I do, what you can eat it with more traditionally would be a little bit of cabbage and radish on top.
Okay.
So they actually are doing it right here with the cabbage. I know my mom, I don't eat it that way. I know my mom does. without a doubt, she'll bring it up and be like, okay, boom. And she's like, always like, cabbage? No. Radish? No. I like it like that without anything.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah. Pozole is good. If you can find a good pozole, eat it. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Right?
Okay.
Right, Fernando?
Yeah, that's what I'll be making for Christmas. Most likely is pozole.
Yeah.
Nice.
You have a family recipe?
No, I've been just kind of experimenting and doing some different things with the recipes here. I used to make it when we'd have parties. My mom would be throwing a party like, hey, we're going to have pozole, which meant she's going to go out and run around and do all kinds of errands for the party, and I'm going to follow her directions and and cook it. So I've gotten to, I've had tons of experience, but now I'm kind of trying to not do hipster pozole, but like branch out and do a little bit more different stuff with like some of the seasoning of like the pork and maybe cooking it a little bit longer and stuff like that.
Well,
but it is a good. It's a good thing to have, especially when it's cold.
Oh yeah, no, it is just a hearty, good soup. The next one would be the Mexican hot chocolate.
Oh.
Abuelitas.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah. No, come on. That is good. That is magic in a cup.
Is it made with clamato?
No.
It's not?
No.
Okay.
Ew.
Who would be drinking hot chocolate with clamato? You're foul.
What is that drink that has clamato in it?
I don't know.
No, you like it. It's that
Oh no, michelada.
that stuff. Okay.
No.
So there's no clamato in this hot chocolate? Okay.
No. The hot chocolate is good. I think anybody who
I'm joking with you. It's super good.
Mexican, and I'm air quoting Mexican hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where is that? Where can you find that?
I don't know.
Rancho, probably.
Probably.
Or at my brother's house, that's what he calls himself, is Mexican hot chocolate.
Yes.
It's a nickname for himself.
Is it after a few tequilas or just normal?
Just normal.
Okay.
Okay, next food item.
Okay, the next one is cinnamon sugar chips. Topped with caramel, whipped cream, and honey cream glaze? I can't remember. On glue. Anyway. Basically, sugar chips. Or cinnamon sugar chips. They're pretty good. They look really good.
Okay.
And all at Rancho. So, the only thing, though, I'll be real, is hot chocolate, good. Pozole, good. But okay. The problem with the pozole is that when you have a family recipe or you have one, they have to come close to that standard. That is why I typically don't have chicken parm anywhere other than my friend's, because she literally makes the best I've ever had.
Okay.
And chicken pozole falls in that category. All right.
Let's move on here.
Moving on. We're going to hop over.
Those are just some highlights. There's so many food options. We're not going to cover the food for the holiday season. Otherwise, it'd be like five episodes long.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to move over to the Cozy Cone area.
Cozy Cone.
And beer.
Oh.
I don't like beer, so I don't care.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I had good beer last night. What do we got? We have a peppermint.
Would you mind try this?
Yeah.
I knew you would.
A peppermint bark stout.
Jess would not get that.
No.
You don't like peppermint at all, do you?
No.
No.
I'll wear it on my shirt, but I'm not going to eat it.
You don't eat candy canes?
Hell no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's nasty.
No, I had two really good stouts last night. But going on from that, it is a 7.5, so good, respectable for a beer. And that one is at Cozy Cone.
It looks like beer.
Yeah.
Peppermint flavored.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it kind of goes into it. Peppermint oil. I would try it, but I don't know. I'd be kind of leery because I don't know what else will be there. It can't be all peppermint.
Well, you know what? Here's what we should do is if you guys go down in December, just make a...
I'll run out.
Pick out a few things that you get and then talk about them.
Well, the good thing is that I'm going to be with my brother, and he is a stout guy. The only negative is we're talking about it today. He may not go into DC until day 2, and I may not be there. so we may not be able to drink together, but we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Well, I drink together whenever with them anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody? Thoughts? Fernando, yay or nay?
I'd try it, but it's a little scary.
Yeah, I know,
it's
right?
scary. That's not my speed.
Yeah. It all depends on how heavy the peppermint is and what the notes are after that, on the back end of it.
Yeah, because some of those stouts can have that soy sauce aftertaste sometimes, and peppermint and soy sauce is just not a winning combination.
Yeah. I would hope that they kind of, correct that and have it a little bit more clean finish, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah, don't make Santa sad.
Okay. So here we're going to go into a very interesting topic in my mind. Designer suing Disney for drop mechanism used in Rise. Okay? So we have made it a policy not to spoil Rise on the show.
Correct. We have.
Because we know there are people who haven't gone on that, even though now it is a full open queue. And what I saw, the first day they did that, there was a 2.5 hour wait. I'm like, okay, I would be there for that. I would. I don't know if you guys would, but I would. I would
for the rope drop for Rise.
For Rise.
Yeah, it was only like they had it posted 240 minutes, but it didn't take them that long.
Yeah, no, we've all been on it, and we all know that is a quick loader, and I doubt it was really that long. I mean, so anyway, I'll go into it real quick. A gentleman by the name of Louis Alfieri previously worked with Universal Creative and is now the chief creative officer of entertainment design company Raven Sun Creative. According to the lawsuit he filed in Orlando's U.S. District Court last week, Alfieri pitched an Ultra Tower show experience to Walt Disney Imagineering in 2014. His patent for the drop ride mechanism used in the pitch was then pending. He claims Disney has used the technology in Rise without consulting his company or compensating him. It goes into detail about when the patent was filed, but there you go. What do you think, Mark?
I don't think this guy's going to win anything.
No.
People do this all the time with Disney. Oh, I thought of this. I thought of that. Someone did that with Frozen, right? They had the story, and I don't think they're going to get away with winning anything here.
What about you guys?
I agree with Mark.
Yeah, I think if anything, I mean, if there is something there, then Disney will probably settle pretty quickly, and it'll just be swept under the rug. You won't hear anything about it. They'll end up paying some amount that you never know because it's going to be undisclosed, and then they'll be able to protect whatever they did end up doing. So either way, they're going to come out on top. Whether they did take it or didn't. But they're a big company. People are going to come at them all the time for frivolous stuff, and on the times that it's not something that someone's making up and it's legit, they're just going to settle because they have the pockets, to pay for whatever. Yep. So it'll be a footnote, and I don't really think anyone's going to, raise too much of a stink over it.
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree. I think, unfortunately, there are many big companies that do, even if it is true, it probably will go nowhere, and he could be just looking like, hey, pay me 25 G's or whatever, or 50 or 100 or whatever, and boom, done, out. Okay. I'm going to go on the next story, and I'm happy. And you guys will know here, if you guys know me, you're going to know why. New remote-controlled chopper droid and fairy droid conversion kit available at Droid Depot at Galaxy's Edge.
Okay.
How cool is that? I think I told the story that I made a droid a couple years ago now for my nephew for his birthday. And I FaceTimed him and built it with him. And he didn't know it was for him. So I was on FaceTime, like, hey, buddy, what do you think? What color arm, what body? And he did everything. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to build one. I kind of want to do that, but I wanted your opinion. And he's like, okay, cool. So I built the entire thing for him, never thinking I'm ever going to get one. And then I saw this. And Chopper is by far one of my... so you have R2. You have a ton of droids in the Star Wars universe, right? My top two are R2 and Chopper. So if I'm not going to do an R2 droid, and that's fine because I would only want to do like a full-on replica of R2, but I really want a Chopper. I would love to have a Chopper running around because Chopper...
It's a Chopper.
Well, Chopper, you may have to edit this.
So I had to throw that in.
Yeah, the reason why I love Chopper, so he's a bit of a jerk.
Oh.
A Richard.
He's a Ricardo, and because of that, he's a great droid. Like, you have bad droids, you have good droids, you have annoying as hell droids. L7, I'm looking at you. But Chopper is like
It's
easily,
a chopper.
yeah.
I've been waiting for years to say that on
Get
on
in the
the
chopper.
No, not that. It's from
yeah,
the song.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
Fernando knows what I'm talking about.
Chopper is in my top 3 favorite of all time of all droids. So
Wow.
I saw that.
That's
and
a
I'm
question, dude. Then the next time you want to, pick up a girl, like an opening line, dude. What are your top 3 droids?
Oh, no. See, I've got another one. No.
What the heck, dude? Who cares about top 3 droids?
From Star Wars nerd to Star Wars nerd.
Yeah.
That is a point of discussion.
Okay, no, I get that. Okay, I get it.
And honestly, I'm not going to be picking up a chick with, hey, what's your favorite droid?
Okay, but I do agree with you. L7 was I was so sick of L7, dude. Dude, would you be upset if Disney Plus goes, oh, we're going to start a new series called the L7 series?
Yeah. That would be the first Star Wars property I do not watch.
Oh, I thought the other one was with that rock thing.
Wow.
What the hell was that?
That was a book.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Jess, you're like, what? I don't know, Fernando, do you know how familiar are you with Chopper or anything?
What's that?
How familiar are you with Rebels or Chopper or anything? I don't think I've ever had that discussion with you or about your affinity for Star Wars.
Oh, so I love Star Wars, just everything Star Wars. It's one of those things where I'll start watching it with the kids, and then halfway through they lose interest. Like, especially some of the animated stuff. I'm like, I'm watching this for you. I'm like, not really. I'm watching it for me. So
Yeah,
I
totally.
I have to finish Rebels. And then same thing with Clone Wars. I remember watching it back when it was on Netflix before it came to Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't have time to watch all the things that I want to watch. So I'm kind of like, I'm aware of everything that's happened with all the different animation, and I love it, and it's really well done. I just haven't been able to watch it all the whole way through the way that I want to. But it's all really cool. It's one of those things where 10-year-old me would have loved it, and 35-year-old me loves it. Just hasn't had the time to watch all of it. But yeah, no. Chopper's funny because he's a droid that they gave a lot of personality, and like you said, he's a bit of a jerk. Those jerk tendencies that R2 had in some of the movies. Mm-hmm. That's his personality, 100% of the time. He's just full on a Richard. Mm-hmm. It's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. A Richard, yeah.
Yeah, and the other add-on would be the fairy droid, and for anyone who doesn't know what that is, that would have been from The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
The fairy droid that winds up getting blasted. Spoiler alert.
Can you make the one from Rogue One? The one that was really cool?
No.
What was that droid?
That was an Imperial droid, no.
Well, he was retrofitted to be good. I actually like that guy.
No, he was a good character, and he
yeah.
was voiced by...
Oh, is it...
hold on. I know his voice. I know his name, and I can't think of it right now.
It's Mark's doppelganger. I kind of see it a little bit.
It's Mark's...
Your doppelganger.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I can't think of his name, but Alan Tudyk. He is voiced by Alan Tudyk, and by far, Alan Tudyk is one of my favorite, just in general, actors. Not only voice but live action. I love Alan Tudyk. So
Steve the pirate.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. Arr! Anyway, so yeah, that droid, and I can't think of his designation number right off the top of my head, but he's in my top 5 droids. But anyway, yeah, the fairy droid is I don't know why they would have done that. I think probably only to try to get the tie into the Mandalorian. You know, they are with the Book of Boba Fett coming. I know a lot of people are kind of like trying to get back into the Mandalorian universe, which is what we're going to go back into with the Book of Boba Fett. I know Jess is all excited for the Book of Boba Fett, aren't you?
Absolutely. You have no idea.
I know. You're like, woohoo, you did.
Circle with the heart.
Yeah, did you even finish Mandalorian season 2 yet?
No, I haven't started it.
Oh my God. Am I going to have to come over?
I've been watching Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, no. Come on. No.
Don't
Anyway,
judge me.
I judge you harshly all the time. What is it? There's nothing new with that.
I know.
Okay. So, we're going to move on to the... Okay, wait. I'm going to pause real quick, and I'm going to go into this topic because it isn't on our list on the official list, but because we're on Star Wars, I want to go over to Lucasfilm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know how well you guys keep track. I know, Fernando, how well you keep track of what's going on with Lucasfilm. I know you're busy. I'm busy. But luckily I have a kind of job where I can have it in the background and I can listen. So right now, the big rumor is about Kathleen Kennedy. Okay? Now, her contract was as originally expired at the end of October. Now we're end of November, and nobody has said anything about whether or not she got extended or not. Now the rumor is that she has been extended for another 3 years, but there has been no official announcement whatsoever from Disney. So, I don't know if you have an opinion, Jess. You're probably like, I don't care. What about you, Fernando? Do you follow that at all?
Yeah, I follow it. And it's just been kind of interesting to see where she's at. A lot of the criticism that she's gotten, I think it's pretty fair and warranted. And it's like, you know, you're given the ball like at the 1 yard line, and all you got to do is run it in, and she ran like 99 yards the other way and
right,
kind of mess it up. It's like Star Wars, yeah, the fandom sometimes can be a little toxic and whatever, but overall, like, people just want these stories to be told in new ways. It's like watching someone play with their toys or whatever, and you know, it's something that we've gotten as of late, but there was that really rough period when she kind of first came on and stuff was kind of forced. It seemed, you know, to go a certain way. Like I get it. I have 2 girls. You know, I've got a 9-year-old and I have a baby, and I don't ever tell them you can't do anything, or, you know, as a girl you got to like X, Y, Z. You can't like this. But I've never forced them to try to like something or force them to do something. And it seemed like some of the character decisions in the early Star Wars days, where they're like, we're trying to force some of those things that just kind of, you know, weren't really there. That could have came naturally. Like afterwards, like there's a bunch of badass female characters within Star Wars, starting with Princess Leia, who, you know, when she's getting rescued, she's like, oh, this is some rescue. Like, you know, I could have done better by myself. You know, I've done good enough. And it just seemed like, I don't know, just not a well thought out, maybe well intentioned, or just not well thought out, not well executed. Her time with Star Wars.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of funny to see this kind of in limbo and just waiting to see where it is. Just my thought is just give it to Dave Filoni. Let him be in charge of everything and make everyone happy. He knows what he's doing. He's a nerd, and he tells good stories, so why not just give it to him?
Jess, I don't think you've been tracking that at all, right?
Oh, I have.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I got it all down. Everything Fernando said.
Okay, yeah, there you go, liar. So no, I agree with you, Fernando, that it is very interesting that no official announcement has been made. I think I have had a number of conversations. Not only I've kind of talked about it here on the show. I've DM'd a few other people, emailed a few other people, and face-to-face conversations about what is going on with Lucasfilm. And I do find it interesting that nothing has been officially done. In my opinion, they have been making excuses for her failure. What I feel is a failure overall of the managing of Lucasfilm and, in particular, the Star Wars IP. A lot of the good that has come up she's had very little to do with other than going, okay, you can do that, So I agree with you completely. Filoni should be given full control and reign over Star Wars. We're not going to get perfect Star Wars ever, but we can get better. So we'll find out. I find it interesting, and the argument, if you're in the community, has been kind of back and forth. You have the camp of she needs to go, and she's not getting renewed, to the other camp where, she's going to get renewed and she ain't going nowhere. And the one thing that I find very funny about that is either of them like her. It is just more of them trying to she's going to go or she's not going to go. It's funny. And because her support in the fandom, I think, is very, very little. And as far as what I've heard about Indy 5, it sounds like a train wreck coming. So we'll find out what happens. But yeah, I find the whole situation very interesting. I find the handling of it by Chapek to be interesting, is the word to go. Mark, opinion?
I didn't even hear what the first part was.
About Kathleen Kennedy and being extended or not, and how the rumor mill, there's been no official announcement from Disney and her contract technically
So that has not been confirmed at all?
Nope.
Well, it's a bit suspicious. I wouldn't know why they'd be holding it off in either direction. Do they have some earnings reports coming out soon? Or
They did.
Oh, they did? Don't ask me. I have no idea what the issue is. There's got to be something going on over there. I honestly have no idea what their agenda is for their next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
As far as movies and TV shows go, I've kind of lost how that all is.
Well,
I know there was a Gina Carano show that got scratched, scrapped or whatever. There was talk about her coming back in some capacity,
and that rumor is still floating around.
I have no idea what's going on with Kathleen Kennedy. I just want good storytelling, and I want that kind of stuff. I don't want any political agendas going on in any of the stuff. So we shall see. Like I said before, I think Disney owning Star Wars on the park side, they've done a much better job handling the actual user experience and themed entertainment than they have with the media. That's. Do you disagree?
I agree.
Okay, cool. All right.
We're going to move on. And this one made me cry a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like tears of joy. I mean, sadness.
I already know what you're going to talk about. You're an a-hole. And I don't even have the news pulled up.
Yeah.
You don't? Jess, I sent it to you.
Bam and bam.
Okay. That means, Udi, Jess is your number one fan.
I know. Okay, so go ahead, Jess. What is the story?
I'm just taking a guess because, again, I don't have the news up. But it's going to be some a-hole comment about Small World.
Okay, and?
It's closed indefinitely.
Oh, yeah.
Is it still closed? It is closed still.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know why, in case
Go ahead.
y'all don't know why.
Okay, go ahead.
In actuality.
Okay, go ahead. No. Please go ahead.
Well, no, I don't know what is in the news. So
Go on.
It got flooded.
It's a flooding,
Yeah.
right? A
Yeah.
flooding?
Okay.
Okay.
Is that what you've been hearing?
yeah, they weren't saying why they had it closed, and then Disney wasn't telling anybody why, like the extent of what was happening. And so when they drained it to set it for holiday and set everything up, well, then they went to fill it again, and there was a leak or of some sort. Something happened that somebody did not catch, and it flooded the attraction, and then it flooded the basement of the shop. When you exit the Small World gift shop,
Yeah.
if that basement as well, the damage is more than what they had led on to, and they're looking at 9 months plus of a closure.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah, no,
cow.
you're right. The story goes on to kind of basically say what you said. That when they were refilling, there was a leak and began to flood everywhere. It had affected machinery, and it affected the machinery. So, yeah, when you do that, in my line of work, water is like if you have any equipment in water, you're done. Like you take that equipment and either rebuild it or you throw it away. So yeah, anything of that nature, you have to completely tear apart. You cannot let water be in there because that is a ticking time bomb. So when you're talking about any kind of mechanized, motorized kind of thing, water is the devil.
So they're unofficially going to say it's going to be closed for about 9 months, you think?
It said like for over 9 months.
Okay.
From what I.
So that tells me that was a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
But
Yeah.
they are still doing they're still doing all the holiday stuff at night, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll get into that too.
Okay.
Are you heartbroken, Fernando, about that one?
It's a small leak, after all.
No, it's still sad though.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
You know, it's really depressing because a lot. I mean, those things haven't been around since it opened, but I mean, those animatronics are old.
Oh
Yeah.
They're old, and they're probably gonna decide to not fix them. They're probably going to decide to replace them,
Yeah. Well,
and it'll just change the entire attraction, even though.
Giant
Yes.
video screens of them, maybe.
oh my
Yeah,
God,
right?
no.
That's all. Yeah, they're gonna get rid of all the kids, and it's just gonna be you're gonna wear 3D glasses, and it's gonna be like TV.
Okay, you know what? As much as I don't like that attraction, God, no.
No.
Like, no. Because I know when I go to the park, I'm going to have to tell my mom, Small World isn't running. She's going to be like, what? She's going to be sad.
Yeah.
And, I have been on that attraction for very few reasons over the years. And they're always have to do with family. Why did I ride it last time, Jess?
Because of me.
Yeah. It was you, your family, and your aunt. We went because in honor of your aunt. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to not ride that attraction.
Yeah, you had to.
I had to. There was no way. I had the picture of your aunt on me all day. I'm like, I'm not going to, like, no. Okay, we're all going together. Okay, well, I can suck it up. And I know my mom would have been like, Small World. I'm like, okay, Mom, let's go. Yeah, I would, but yeah, we're going to not have that now. So, and that to me is kind of sad. And only because I know how many people actually really connect with that attraction, even though I don't. I feel bad for them.
And I don't particularly like the attraction, but I don't mind.
Love it.
And I don't mind going on it. If someone in my group is like, I want to go on it, I'll always go on it. I never say no. It's just nothing I actually suggest. I know you don't like it, but I would totally go on it with Fernando.
I suggest.
It's a great way to rest for a few minutes.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, yeah, especially in the summer, you can get out of the hot air and just cool off for a little bit. And
Yeah.
At the expense of having that song stuck in your head, but yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The connection to Walt.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, you honor.
You know.
And that is a good point. But for me, I go to Tiki Room for that.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
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 All
right.
That's a good question. That is a very good question.
Yeah. Like that. You know what? That is a good question for another topic. Is what attraction? That's a good opening
Yeah.
question. What attraction do you go to feel the connection to Walt?
That's a great question.
I know mine, but I won't answer.
We're
it.
not going. That's
No,
not.
we're not going to do that. We're
going
not
off
going to do that now. Okay, mark that down. Everybody, remember that.
Yeah, we will think about. Yeah.
That is a good question. Okay, we're going to move on now. Mickey's Toontown in Disneyland is set to be demolished.
Woo!
Yeah.
No, it is going to close March of next year, so in a scant 3 months or so, for quote-unquote reimagining.
Mm-hmm.
There have been concept art coming out, and you know, for me, I've been critical of that land. You know, haven't walked into it other than to go look at Runaway Railway, the show building, like we did, Jess, remember? When we went? We walked in there just to look at the show building, how big and, like, gargantuan that building is.
Huge.
It is huge. Anyway, so I'm glad if they're not going to demolish it and blow it up, they're actually going to do a refurb.
Mm-hmm.
The only part that bugs me, what about Tomorrowland? But we're going to move on from that. Okay. Thoughts?
One land at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, Tomorrowland has been overdue for like 2 decades, man.
Fernando.
They'll get to it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yep.
What are your initial thoughts on that, Fernando? You've seen the artwork and everything, I assume.
Yeah, it isn't. I mean, I'm with Udi. Probably Tomorrowland should have gotten something first, but right, that's neither here nor there. That land was due for something. You know, I have little-ish kids, so when we go, sometimes you would think, okay, well, Toontown's a natural stop, but there's not a whole lot to do there. Like, we've done the Gadget Go coaster with the kids because that's kind of like the first little step into getting into like the big roller coasters.
Yeah.
And honestly, all that was just like, hey, you're gonna get on Space Mountain pretty soon. Let me get you on this little thing so you think roller coasters aren't that bad, and then we're gonna go on Space Mountain. That way you don't cry when we're
and scare
queue.
the living crap out of you.
And then, you know, Roger Rabbit, it's cool, but it's not enough to draw you in. And then let's just say you do those 2 rides, like there's not a whole lot there. It looks old, it looks run down. You know, for Disneyland, which is a place where everything is super immersive and brings you in, it's so old and run down looking. It's like you're in a forgotten corner of Knott's Berry Farm or like Six Flags where they just don't even care. So, yeah, I welcome them doing something to it. You know, let's see what it is. The Mickey's Runaway train looks pretty cool, but even just the fact that they're doing something else with the land, even if it's just a little park, even if it's just a little place to like let kids run around and blow off some steam or whatever, it's long overdue. Like it didn't look like Disneyland the way the rest of the park does.
Right. Jess is holding her hand up very politely. Jess.
And patiently. Good for you.
Oh, thanks. I've been working with children. I'm learning. Are they gonna? Do we know if they're gonna take out Roger Rabbit?
I don't think that's part of the plan.
They, the talk was redoing that to make Jessica more of the
Why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, they're doing that. As far as I know, that is going to happen. They're going to re-theme or redesign that to make it more about Jessica looking for Roger. And you know, and that huh?
I can live with that.
No, and I agree. Like that would, they do that, and they reimagine it, and then they have Runaway. Everything I've heard about Runaway is that
phenomenal.
It is phenomenal.
Yep.
You know, trackless ride, the whole thing. I'm like, okay, cool. That will pull me into that land for the first time in I don't know how long.
Well, this is why they're doing it. But I mean, some of the stuff looks really cool. I like the fact that they've got what appears to be a lawn and it's going to be synthetic grass, I assume, next to some, what do they call it, like a dreaming tree or something like that. I actually like that concept. We'll see how that plays out in real life. But yeah, it's funny what Fernando said about some like long forgotten corner of Knott's Berry Farm. Knott's Berry Farm is like a tale of two halves, man. I mean, there's the whole front with the ghost town and everything. That to me is fantastic. But that whole back section is like, what the hell's going on over there?
Yeah.
I mean, like, did someone just like, we have no money for this. We've got no imagination. It's just cement. Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Yeah, like the front section is fantastic, where the Calico Mine train is, and what's the log right there? Timber Creek? Is that what it is?
Oh, I don't even know.
I can't believe I'm forgetting it. But anyways, the whole front end is just fantastic, but the back end is just like there's no theming whatsoever. It's like, what? But yeah, I mean, Toontown, it does raise some eyebrows for me because I'm looking at their budget, and this only supports a couple of things. Is number one, they don't have a real good design for Tomorrowland yet, and number two, Splash Mountain is probably going to get pushed back a lot further than what they promised.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
No.
You still think they're going to go ahead with Splash Mountain?
Yeah, I think. Well, the only caveat to that will be if they're going to do more with Critter Country and do a full blow up. Which at that point, I think we've talked about it before. They kind of need to.
Yeah.
Like Critter Country, if they when they redo the Splash Mountain, then they kind of have to get rid of Critter Country, in my opinion. But yes, Jessica. Yeah, Fernando's high five in her.
Yeah, you gave me a high five.
Yep.
I like that better. This is my guess.
Okay.
If they're going to continue with Splash, it will not be until at least next winter. That's when they will start it. They're not going to start it in the middle of summer next year. It will be minimum next winter is when they'll shut it down. That's my guess.
Minimum next winter. Yeah.
Well, you can quote me on that. That'll be my guess.
I don't disagree. I think, and you said minimum, so that's if they start it, that's when they're going to start it.
It'll be winter.
At the earliest.
They're not going to do it during summertime when it's hot.
Okay, cool. Understood. All right. But yeah, concept art looks interesting. We shall see how that goes, see how that plays out. We will visit it, I guess, in 2023.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Now, here is one of the stories that I find annoying. Okay.
What could that be?
The second highest tier of the Magic Key annual pass now, and I'm going to air quote, sold out.
Oh, yes. This is high demand.
As well as Disneyland Resort. So,
yeah.
Let me real quick say this, and I'll let everybody chime in after. This is a bunch of crap. Flat out. So we have talked about it before where the offering of the Magic Key, while initially we were excited, like, good, we're getting signs of returning to normal. Here, the way I look at it, they are doing everything they can to begin to back away from this program or minimize it. They are trying to do everything to flex into and push a full ticket ride as discounted as little as possible. So for it to be, air quote, sold out is a bunch of garbage. I think they're trying to do everything to manage that, and it isn't okay. They shouldn't have the stipulation because right now, the second highest tier, that means we're going to be in there more often. That was the one I was looking at, which now means that I will not be getting an AP for the foreseeable future, which makes me kind of sad, to be honest. I was looking forward to maybe New Year, begin the new year.
Yeah.
Look how everything is shaking out, and then maybe February, maybe March, go like, boom, I'm going to go. Mm-hmm. Now I'm like, forget that. The overall issues we have had now with the Magic Key, beyond it being sold out, but also having not been able to schedule and being, you can't book a time, even for a high-end pass, is not okay. And it totally is taken away from my want to get an AP. So now all you've done is like, okay, you're going to reduce me going to the park, going from 4 times a year, 5 times a year, maybe 6 times a year is what it was on pace for.
Yeah.
You're going to make me go now once, maybe twice. And that is it's idiotic. So that is where I said, I think it's dumb. I think they are looking at a huge negative, and they need to correct. Big time. I mean, Chapek, like I've talked about my opinion about Chapek a couple episodes ago, maybe now.
He's my idol.
Huh?
He's your idol?
He's my idol.
I think he is, and I will restate my thought. I think for where we are, he's actually the right man for the job right now. But he's going to screw up. Here is a screw up, and we need to call it out. So that is where I said I think it's dumb. I think it is a screw up. I think it's a major thing that needs to be corrected in the park ASAP.
Okay.
Yes, Jess. I love that you do that now. You're like,
there is it. There it is.
I can't even handle polite Jess right now. I don't even know how to handle that. Like,
yeah, this is so.
Can I talk right now? Okay, if I say no, are you going to sit there and not say anything?
She's on her best behavior.
I know. I don't even know how to handle that right now.
I'll be patient.
No, okay, go.
Oh, crap. Was it? Oh, okay. One, have we ever, in the history of annual passes, yes, had a cap on APs?
No.
No.
Never.
So, 2, that just leads me into more money.
Okay.
They didn't want to tell people this is how it was going to go because they wanted to get their money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I was going to get one when I was down there. I was going to. And then I
last week?
Huh?
When you were there like last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I would have upgraded my ticket to the pass, I wouldn't have been able to get in because the pass was already sold out in those days.
Yeah.
So
how dumb.
Sorry. That's absolutely insane to me. And I had a third. I don't remember what my third was. I think that this is how it's going to be for a while, and I don't think, I know that, I understand what you're saying, Rudy, but I don't think they're trying to do this to try to recorrect the issues that they have, that they have made with this pass. I think that they're going to get people that really don't care, and I know a lot of people are upset, but I think they're going to get people locked in, and people will be like, oh, well, we have our pass, and then, oh, let's renew it next year. We know how this is going to go. We can do it better, and these people are going to continue to pay this money, even though they know that, it's ridiculous.
I don't disagree with that, but what I do think is that the people right here, the 4 of us right here, I think we are a microcosm of the overall majority of the people who would have bought an AP and will buy an AP.
Oh, I would have had one already.
I know, and I would have too, but here is where I stand. I think you're right. There are going to be those fanatics that will continue, but there are also those people who are going to sit there and go no. And if they want to, they will. In a year's time, they're going to see their numbers go drop. And they're going to be like, whoa. And that is going to be it because nobody will, or not, I won't say nobody. I think they're underestimating how many people will go, I love the park. I want to be there. But I cannot pay top dollar and not get top access anymore.
But how are their numbers going to drop if they are sold out? Well, we tap on this, so we don't know how many people would have bought it. So how are they going to see that their numbers drop?
That is an artificial cap, and we know it. So
100%.
It is dumb for them to do that. Anyway, you cut it. I think again. Okay, I've talked about it before. and without going into a big old huge thing over it, Disney is going to be about metrics, meta metrics, over and over and over and over and over again. Mark works for a company. I work for a company. We all probably work for a company. Maybe not you, Jess, but that they're going to look at.
I work for children.
Yeah, you work for children. So your level of like profitability is different. But I work in an industry, Mark and Fernando, we all work in an industry where profitability is king. So they're going to look at that and go, when their profitability drops, that is going to be the big thing. And that is why I keep on saying that. Like or hate Chapek right now, he's going to look at that and go like, oh, we're losing out on money. And we need to correct that. Mm-hmm. He is all about making Disney profitable, which it has not been now for probably going on 2 years, really. So they have money, they have things, but that isn't what Disney is about. Disney is about making more money. Flat out. If you think it isn't, you're wrong. So that is why I keep on saying that they're going to have to correct this because their profitability overall, I think, will take a major hit because of that. So I don't know. What do you think, Fernando?
I think there's a lot of craziness going on with like just everything. There's a few episodes back where you kind of touched on it, Udi, with shrinkflation, right? We pay more for less. Yeah. And I just think back to when I first got a pass, and I forgot what it was called, but it was the top pass minus the one that gets you to Disney World and Disneyland. Oh yeah. I'd had it for about 9 years. Got it when my wife was pregnant with Marissa because a Chinese restaurant was closed. That's right. It makes no sense. Mm-hmm. But we'd had it ever since, and we've added the 2 kids, Marissa and then Luke, and then we have the baby, and we were thinking like this is just it's a bill. It's something we're always going to do. We go in and we start. Well, we spend a certain amount of money within the park. We spend a certain amount for the pass, and I always would do the surveys just because it was interesting, and it kind of let me kind of reverse engineer some of what I think the park was headed towards. So prior to COVID, I thought that a lot of what they were kind of headed towards was, and it was kind of obvious too, like Disney was catering towards like upper middle class and above, incomes and households. They wanted people in the park who were going to spend when they were there, not people who were going to just come in on a Thursday night and maybe eat a churro, ride a couple rides, and then leave. They wanted a weird kind of balance of I'm going to go in and get my money's worth on the amount of visits I can get, but I'm also going to spend top dollar when I'm there. Right. Mm-hmm. So, COVID and like the closing and all this other stuff kind of just, I think sped up some of the stuff. And like you're saying, Chapek's trying to make it profitable, but it's also kind of at the expense of your average park goer, which they were kind of going towards anyways. I think, Disneyland's been expensive. Disney in general is expensive. It's not a cheap day to go to the park. No. And, it's kind of sad, but they don't want someone who's going to go into the park on a lower tier pass and then not spend the money, just take up the space. So I think they were kind of already looking towards getting rid of some of like the lower tier stuff, like I said, trying to make it,
the monthly
to where, like the monthly plan. And then a little bit of also trying to make it like Disney World, where your main consumer is going to be that person who is on a 2 or 3 day ticket. But Disneyland isn't Disney World. It's a locals park, and they're not hitting that sweet spot at all. They overcorrected like way too much, towards the other way. And like, Udi was saying, it's a artificial cap they put on the top tiers of passes. I was looking at the top and second, those two, in between those two for my family to see kind of which one made the most sense. And, now they're both sold out. But like you said, they didn't really announce that was something that would be possible. They kind of did. It's a little scummy, I think, where they did a kind of thing where it's like, oh, well, it's sold out. We have your money. Now you're blacked out. Disney is not going to do anything willy-nilly. They crunch the numbers. So they probably put that cap at a number where, okay, we sell this many passes, we block them out. Once we've hit, this much, we've made this much money, and now we can shift focus towards the single day or 2 or 3 day tickets, where a higher pass isn't as desirable anymore because it's sold out. You've already got those people. You've already got their money. They can't go in. And then, the lower tiers, even if they're not sold out, those people are blocked out anyway. So you've gotten, in a sense, like the maximum amount of money that you can from the different passes. And now you're shifting focus towards catering to the single day, ticket people, because that's where everything is. And that's where you look at the calendar for a single day or 2 day or 3 day ticket, whatever, and it's wide open. Right. And everyone else is, blacked out on top of not being able to buy a pass. So it's like, right now Disney's trying to have their cake and eat it too.
Yes. Yep.
But, if we know one thing about Disney and Disneyland and their fans, it's, they're not quiet. They don't shut up and don't just take it. And you're going to alienate your fan base. Because you're not doing a good job of this little tightrope walk. You do need to make money because of the pandemic, understood, but you're pushing the profits over the external stakeholders, which is your fans, your pass holders and whatnot, and you might not win them back, and that's something that it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, and I like that you. Oh, go ahead, Udi.
No, you go ahead.
No, I like that you said, like, we're not Florida. And that, I don't know, I don't have the news in front of me, but if we're, stop it. We're not Florida, and they're trying to bring these magic bands in.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that. Yeah.
I figured, but it's like we're not Florida. We don't need those.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it for this?
Yeah.
Right.
No.
That purpose.
Yeah, and as Fernando, as you were talking, I know on a podcast, I can tell all three of us, like Jess, myself, and Mark, were all nodding along. Like you're right on. I think Fernando, you are absolutely spot on with that. I think that the catering towards that higher end and trying to milk as much as they can out of the everyday park goer is clearly what they're going for. The AP, for whatever reason, even the top tier, which, to me, I would think I would go in the opposite, right? Like, I would go like, why don't we eliminate the bottom two, put an artificial cap on the bottom two, and push everybody up. Like, okay, you can't do a SoCal one. They're sold out. You can't do the next one up. They're sold out. Guess what? You got the only two. So, I guess I can kind of understand why they would get rid of that, because there's more accessibility with the higher end. So they're trying to push people into paying a full boat. So I think with the pandemic, they are, and we've talked about it before, that they're going to do what they can to try to get their money. They have lost billions of dollars over the last year and a half. This, I think, is another iteration of that. And I think they're going to milk it as long as they can before the faithful, like us, are going to go like, enough. So we'll find out.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that that's exactly what it's going to be. Sorry, my phone's going to die. I have to plug it in.
Plug it in.
I think, but see, now I got to switch and get comfy this way. Oh, okay. I think that that's going to be the main issue is with them. Like, yes, they need to make their money back, but in the long run, are they going to lose that money because we're going to stop going?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless they come up with something new. But
if they did, how forgiving are we all going to be when they come back and be like, oh, yeah, here you go. Here's, the top AP for $1,800 a year.
Well, no, and you're right. I think they're going to push the envelope. They're
I
going
think they are too. They're gonna see how far they can bend us until we break.
exactly, and I think the more they push, the more they're going to push people out, and I don't think that will, in the long run, be beneficial. I think in the long run, they will be hurting their bottom line.
Well, I mean, look at, and I understand that 13 has other issues, but look at me in 13. 4 or 5 times a year. I've gone once. Like, if you think about it, think about the money that alone from me that it's not a lot to them, but like what they've lost. They've lost thousands of dollars just from one person that's willing to sit there and be like, here, take my money. Then you start looking at people that the high-enders that want to stay in the Disneyland hotel or stay on property. Look at those people that aren't going to be going as much. They're losing money on these hotel rooms that are now astronomical prices. It upsets me.
So just real quick, Rudy, kind of to touch on what you had said about, thinking that they would do away with the higher end and block that out.
Mm-hmm.
Block out the lower end versus the higher end. I had initially thought that too, but then when you kind of think about it, putting a cap on that kind of makes sense, and then letting people buy the lower end, but blocking out the days that they can go, because then you're going to push those people towards a 2 or 3 day pass, and you're going to get roughly the same amount of money on those tickets versus the life of a pass. I think it's like what, 140, 150 for like a park hopper.
Yeah, right.
You
now,
have the like the flex days and stuff.
Yeah, I think on a peak day you're looking at for park hopper close to $2 bills.
So what you're doing now is you've blocked out, right now the top 2 passes are sold out, so everyone that has it is going to book and go, and those are your money spenders anyway. Those are the people that are going to spend when they go into the park and do all the extra things. So now they're going to spend a little bit more because they have that scarcity, and they know that, okay, well, when I go on this particular weekend, I'm blocked out for 2 or 3 weekends. I can't go again, so I might as well spend when I go this time.
Yeah.
And then the people on the lower end who are seeing that they're blocked out and they can't go, but you look at the calendar and like a 2 or 3 day park hopper has everything available. Okay, well, maybe I'm going to buy a 2 or 3 day park hopper instead of buying a lower end pass. I'm going to just go these 2 or 3 days. And when I'm there for those 2 or 3 days, I'm going to spend the maximum amount. So you're getting those people who were getting that lower end, but instead of, paying for that pass, now they're going to pay for the ticket, and you're going to kind of just cycle through those people and get them spending as much money as possible because they know that they're not going to go back for a year or more, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, and as we're talking about that, I'm like, really, it's kind of a flip of the coin. Really, I think. Like, okay, I am pretty sure that they have metrics that will speak to both sides of that argument. So clearly we can look at, I think clearly we can look at what they're doing and which side of the coin they are going with. Anyway, so we're going to move on from that one because we still have a few more to go.
Yeah,
okay.
A few more to go.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I know. I told everybody buckle up because we're going to be here for a minute. Okay, we're going to go with we're going to go from crap to good.
To good.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
The new Pelican's landing area is open. Jess.
Did you see it?
Did you see it? Did you even go?
You see his face?
Oh,
So
you did not like it?
You didn't go.
No, she liked
I
it.
walked past it.
Did you not go? Oh, you were right there.
Yeah, what's the...
You behave.
I know what, people can accuse me of dropping F-bombs, which I do in real world, but on this show, it is Miss Jess.
Because it's Disney and it upsets me. Okay, Woohoo! We have more seating. Whoop-de-doo. Okay.
Theme
cool.
seating.
Oh, for what? If I want to see pelicans, I'll go to San Francisco Bay.
There you go.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
1, 2, they look cheesy as all get up, the little pelicans that they have set up in the nest. They look terrible.
Didn't look real?
No.
Okay.
3, do you want to know my real thoughts on why they did this?
No, lie to me.
Go.
They did it because they love everyone and they want everyone to be happy.
Okay, there we
That's a
go.
lie.
Thank you.
There. Okay. So this is going to become
I think I know what you're gonna say.
a
paid for...
janky ass version of premiere seating
Yes. Yeah.
for Fantasmic.
You're right. I think you're
Okay.
correct.
That is exactly what they're going to do. It's going to be terrible because you're going to get the side view, the side wall, water wall, which isn't the best because you can't see half the stuff that's going on the island.
Go ahead.
Leave my tree alone. And so that's exactly what they're going to do. So I'm going to go full circle and say this is Disney going to make more money. And this is the sole reason why they did this. Yes, great for us. We have more seating. Cool. But it's for them to make the dollar because that's it. Go ahead, Udi.
I don't necessarily disagree with you.
Oh, good.
Rarity. Mark it on your calendar.
Okay.
That's
But-
a shock.
But while I can kind of see the premiere seating, but it isn't good seating. I don't know if
That's my point. It's
I think
not
they're
good.
gonna try, and you will have people do that. But
Oh, you will.
Yeah,
because I
but-
would do it.
I know.
I just complained about it.
I know,
and
but
I
you would-
still pay for it.
But it is kind of garbage
But-
seating
Yeah.
overall. When
yeah.
you think about it, it isn't good. So
No.
I don't know. I don't know if that was in the initial idea, but you bet somebody in there, some slimy little accountant came out of his hole and went like, "Hey, we can probably try to make money over here." And they're like, "Okay."
It would
We'll
be
do that.
at least $65 to $75 a ticket.
Oh yeah.
And now, back in the day when they used to do the Fantasmic premiere seating, I'm talking long time ago, long time ago. You would go in, and it was mine and my cousin's favorite. My aunt would always get us Fantasmic premiere seating, and you'd go and they'd have like this whole little thing set up with all these chocolate-covered strawberries, brownies, desserts, hot chocolates, hot teas, sodas, and that's what you paid for. You paid and you got to sit. You didn't have dinner. Like you wouldn't go to Blue Bayou or, Horseshoe or anything like that and eat and then get a ticket. You'd pay and you'd get like this premium dessert. And you would sit and like that was the coolest thing. And you got to go up and you'd help yourself and you'd get all your stuff, fruits and everything. And you'd sit there and then you'd watch the show. And that was cool. And I was too young to have a job and to pay for it, but that would be something I would have paid for. Like other than going to Blue Bayou and having it like dinner and then getting a Fantasmic butt pad to sit on the ground, what like they did, like they used to do.
Yep.
Because you were in chairs. They all had collapsible chairs like with cushions and you sat in these comfy chairs and you watched the show. And that was worth the money, but I guarantee you they're going to throw people, they're going to say, oh, Pelican's Landing at night, it's closed off, and it's going to be for Fantasmic premiere seating.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So, end rant.
Fernando, what do you think?
So I'm a little behind. So Pelican's Landing, is that, I thought I read something, I haven't seen it. Is that kind of behind the little shack kind of across from
Yep.
Haunted Mansion?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I was visualizing what it was. Like I said, I wasn't 100% sure. Jess, I do agree that is 100% going to become some kind of premiere seating for Fantasmic, and it is not good seating. That's the kind of thing that area gets packed, right? And sometimes when you're doing like the real quick, one of my favorite places to eat is a French market,
Uh-huh.
Restaurant. And then once Phantasmic starts, once you hear that music, you're like, everyone hurry up, eat your food. We're going to go get on Haunted Mansion real quick. Try to get on it at least a couple times, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And if we get out, if we go like once or twice and it's still packed and we're like, okay, well, we can't go anywhere, we would kind of scoot into that corner and sort of watch a show because you're there and, you just don't want to get stuck trying to walk through like, the dark and tripping over people, whatever. It is not a good seat.
No.
When I was standing there for free, it's like, whatever, like, let's just chill here for a few minutes. But you're right, they're going to charge a dumb amount, and you're not even getting all the things that you described. So,
yeah.
It all comes down to money at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It does.
And I get it. Disney is a business. Disneyland is trying to make money, but like, there's certain things where like, okay, that's a little like, I don't want to say shady, but it's a little shady because your normal, average, everyday person's not going to know that that's not good seating, right? You're going to pay, you're going to fork out the money, and you're going to get there and you're going to be staring at Aladdin's butt or beer can from the side.
Yeah, you're going to get a family that's never been, and they're like, oh, we want to see Fantastic. Let's do it the right way. Oh, premier seating, that sounds great. Then these people are going to pay this money, and they're going to see, the witch, as she's hovering over the cauldron, change from the evil queen to the wicked witch. And you're going to see, your kids are going to see two people pop up at the same time and question everything that there is about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what sucks about it.
And, and that is kind of why I doubt about, I put even a minimal amount of doubt in that being premiere seating because it is not a good angle for the show at all. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find. Clearly, we will find out.
Mm-hmm.
Although Pelicans are pretty cool. They can
they are.
vomit out their intestines.
Yeah.
And swallow it back in.
Pretty cool.
Good to know. The more you know.
The more you know. All right. So we're going to move on to the magic band to revive Glow with the show. I don't even know what that is.
That's the Glow with the show.
Show, man.
I don't.
They have like a little wand.
Sounds like an 80s thing.
No, my daughter has it. It's you buy it, and it's supposed to sync with the parade or the fireworks show or something like that, or the ears or something like that. It's just,
It's more money.
It's what? More money. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have now magic bands coming to Disneyland, right?
Well, right. And I'm not sure what these are going to be.
Yeah, I have no idea. They're as far as Disneyland, I have not seen a lot of them talking about what you're going to do with it.
I think you're going to have your...
Have you, Jess?
I have my guesses.
Okay.
What are your guesses?
So my thought with the magic bands, again, it's going to be money. I think that they have now realized that the that genie thing, whatever it's called, because I don't care about it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to invoke like this magic band kind of vibe where you can, if you have a magic band, you can get fast passes. I don't think they're going to make fast passes available to all of us anymore. I think that the days of that are gone.
Yeah.
I think they're going to make them, well, if you buy a magic band, then you can, reserve up to 5 attractions at once for fast passes. I also think that they will make it to where people that are staying on property, your credit cards will be connected to it.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, just like Disney World. You're going to be able to open your room with those. I believe I think that's the way that they're going. I don't think they're going to make them a requirement per se, but I think that it'll be unlocking your rooms. It will be your credit cards on file. It will be, if you have it, you can get a fast pass.
Sure.
And I think the way that they're going to get a lot of people to buy them.
And to top that, there's going to be blue ones and red ones and holiday ones and limited edition ones and
be able to change out your bands
and AP edition ones.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're going to be able to make money off of it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. No, it's 100%. You're right. It's all about the money, and I see it more and more like every year, and it's just really depressing.
Yeah. We'll see how these magic bands play out. I mean, is it really so hard just to use your credit card and just pay for something?
I know, right?
You have to go. Oh,
Watch.
I do it anyway with my Apple Watch. So yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they integrated it with the Apple Watch. Would that make a difference for you?
What do you mean?
No, I have my Apple Watch.
Yeah, if they go, you can put your season ticket or your park ticket on your watch.
No.
Okay, just saying.
No, they won't. I would do that, but no.
I would, but they won't if they're gonna have this.
If I can do my airline, I can do my air ticket with it. My my boarding pass.
Yeah.
If I do, I'm just gonna scan my.
a government flight. They could do it.
Sure, but Udi, there could be like a special Mandalorian one,
Don't care.
special Star Wars.
Don't care.
Mark, they could have a Phantasmic one, and I wouldn't buy it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Special limited edition San Diego Chargers band for you, Fernando.
They moved to LA and they lost today, so I'm sad and I wouldn't buy it. But I'll say some nice things about it. If they do go that way, it is a good thing if you're staying on property, and then you have kids who are old enough to go off on their own and do a couple things, solo. But maybe you don't trust them with a credit card, or they don't have the Apple Watch and stuff. But you want them to be able to buy something to eat, or whatever. Then the Magic Band is a good thing that they can, if it's linked to the card.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's kind of already been touched on. It's square peg, round hole, trying to fit things that don't quite fit.
Yep.
And even the Magic Band, there's things about it that are kind of cool, but it doesn't really fit for Disneyland. It's not as big as Florida. You're not going there for the same amount of time. It's just. We'll see, though. We'll see. I'll reserve judgment until it comes out, at least.
Oh, yep. Me too. Okay, what's the next news item? Is the last one?
And we're moving on to our final item of news. Okay.
Before we do, Udi, I just want to say this has been fun. I did not expect this portion of it. Thought I was going to do just the Aulani stuff, so it's been kind of nice to be here for the news. I didn't know what any of the news items were. I haven't really paid too much attention, so it's been great, and thank you guys for having me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely, man.
Absolutely, Fernando.
Yeah.
Anytime, Fernando.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, no, it is always good to have people on and looking at it maybe a different point of view, but equally knowledgeable about what we're talking about, even though you hadn't really been following along. But the thing is, you've been integrated and locked into the park as long as we have. So your opinions are going to be there, right at the ready. Anytime anything comes out, we are all okay, here are my, my thought, my hot take on what is going on. And so, yeah, absolutely, man. I'm glad you're on, and I'm glad that having listened to your point of view is very good, and it helps everybody kind of process what's going on. So, yeah, I'm glad you're here for it too, man. Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Right. I'm empty though. I'm empty. Okay.
I have a box of wine here if you want some.
No, I've got more bourbon. I'm drinking real today. I don't know about you, but I'm drinking real today.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. So Udi, again, I guess
Yeah.
one more interruption.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Not a bourbon, but my favorite whiskey, dude. If you ever get a chance, it's a Hibiki Harmony. It's the blended Japanese whiskey. Probably the best whiskey I've ever had.
Ibiki Harmony.
Harmony. So Hibiki has a bunch of different kinds.
Okay.
But Harmony is their blended one.
Okay.
And it's better than a lot of single
malt.
Single malts that I've had. Their blended is really
Harmony.
good.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. Thanks, man, because I'm always looking for a good whiskey or
You'll
bourbon.
have to drink that one straight, Mark.
I will try it.
Yeah, I know, because that is what I did. I poured I'm pouring mine for me straight, and then I'm gonna dilute it for everybody else. But anyway, Harmony. Okay, I'll keep my eye out for that because I definitely want to try that. Thank you for that. All right, are we good? Ready for the last story?
Yeah.
Okay, former AMC theater replacement starting in January 2022 at Downtown Disney. There are, what are the replacement with?
That's artist concept. Have you guys seen the artist concept for what they're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
they're going to basically gut it and get rid of it. The theater will be removed and a whole new area will be built. An open grassy area will provide a space for guests to relax, as well as an area for events. Okay. I mean, honestly, I'm very meh. Like, whatever.
But one thing I wanted to point out, as the listeners, I'm sure if you can pull up the artwork, is that they throw the monorail in there as reference because the way we look at it now, they're tilting the buildings 90 degrees to the right, because normally they would come down this way, but they have. Do you see? Do you see that?
I get your point of view, but
look at how there's a slope.
Yeah, I get your point of view, but I'm kind of like, okay.
It doesn't move the needle for you?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I will. I mean, okay. So I remember telling the story last time I was downtown Disney. I was with Christy, and we went and we were looking in that area because of everything they had cordoned off the area.
Yes.
And we were wondering what's going on. So the area is kind of like a good area overall in downtown Disney, but for them to gut it and kind of implode that, I'm kind of like, why? To me, it's kind of a waste of prime real estate, but whatever. I'm not going to not go, okay, give me another place to kind of hang out. I don't mind that at all.
Right.
So I just find it interesting that they're doing that while they have the old, the restaurant where they have the outpost now, which I walked into.
Oh, the Rainforest Cafe?
Yeah, the Rainforest Cafe.
Booty,
Huh?
wake up.
I couldn't remember.
Caesar salad, right, Jess?
Yes,
Yeah.
Caesar salad.
Whatever. That has been gone for years now. Get over it. It's over.
And
It's
the other
over.
thing,
It's over. It's over. No more.
It's
But-
over everywhere. They closed it in San Francisco too.
There
I
you go.
can't go to one anywhere.
Yeah, all gone. Bye-bye. So sad. I'm sorry. Not really. But anyway. But my... I know. The look on your face. Anyway. The whole point is that, I find it weird when they're looking for when they're looking for ways of clear revenue to come in, that they would blow up an area and be like, hey, come hang out. I feel like they're going to do more there, but hey, we'll find out. I don't care. I mean, it'll be cool. I'm sure it'll be interesting. I'm sure I will go hang out there. I'm pretty sure, unless I do the walkthrough and go like, meh, and keep on walking.
I feel like downtown Disney kind of needs a wake up.
a jolt.
Model.
No, I agree.
For sure. One thing I do want to, not only are the buildings moved 90 degrees facing, but the design work that they're showing in this artist rendering, I actually like that a lot. It's very 1967 Tomorrowland-esque. You notice how those shapes are, those ovals on whatever those shade structures are?
Ovals and
Right up
curves.
my alley.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said right at my alley.
For you, yeah. Jess is gonna be like, this is home.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So I wonder if, because this is the closest thing to Disneyland Hotel, I wonder if they're going to start redoing Disneyland Hotel and make it more like that style, or what's going on.
I don't know. We'll find out. Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you, Jess, or Fernando, have you guys seen the concept art?
I've seen it.
Okay.
And Fernando said he has.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
Go ahead, Jess.
Oh, I'm down. I love it. Like I said, it fits. My whole house is 1960s, 1970s theme. So, I'm all about that.
Shag carpet.
I know I'm waiting for that. What about?
If the cats are here long enough, I'll have shag.
I know. Hey, when are you gonna get a waterbed?
Yeah, waterbed.
That was my very first bed.
I know. When are you gonna get it back?
You're not allowed to have them in apartments. When you sign your lease,
Yeah, but
you say that you can't have them.
They don't gotta know. They don't gotta know.
I like to stay here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Fernando?
So, I'm an AMC ape. I don't know if you know what that means.
Yeah,
but
I
anytime
do.
an
Good for
AMC
you, buddy.
closes-
Good for you. I love it.
anytime an AMC closes, I'm a little sad.
Yeah.
But honestly, my biggest memory of that AMC area was one time we almost watched a movie, and then another time we were eating ice cream or something outside the closed AMC, and bees were attacking Marissa. So, you know, that area, it's a lot of prime real estate. They just haven't quite figured out what to do with it. You're close to the Disneyland Hotel. The movie theater was kind of not the best idea, just because really, who's going to go and spend like a few hours to watch a movie and then still go to Disneyland? It would just kind of seem like out of place.
Or go bowling.
ESPN Zone was kind of cool. We did go there one time for like a Mexico soccer game, and it was kind of fun. But again, it was still kind of out of place, because for a sporting event, you're like 3-4 hours in, right? And it's like, it's too long to spend outside of the park. So with what they have kind of going in, it seems like at least they're trying something different. And I think it's got potential, and maybe it'll work. I have high hopes for it. And at the very least, we get some Austin Powers, Spy Who Shagged Me type quotes out of hanging out in that area. So
for sure,
so we'll see. I'm looking forward to it, and I think that kind of theming things towards that like 1960s kind of era, and then tying it into the Disneyland Hotel would be like kind of like a winning combination. Because when you're downtown Disney, you're only going to spend an hour, 2 hours, maybe tops, before you go into the park. So you want something to draw people in, but really nothing that you do is going to keep people in much longer than that. So why bother with real estate that's dependent on a longer time spent in, like a movie theater or like an ESPN Zone? So yeah, let's go to the 60s, peace, love, that other word, and rock and roll, and let's have a good time.
There you go.
Let's see what it looks like.
I like it.
Right on. We shall see how it all goes. And that was the news. Tonight, 101 is dark, so now let's move on to our feature presentation. Hey, we're going to end part 1 right here and right now. Part 2 of episode 144 will be coming to you guys in about a week. That's going to contain Jess's trip report to the parks, and it's also going to have Fernando's trip to Alani Resort. So we want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to part 1. If you want to get a hold of us, DM us on Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast. Also, send us an email if you like at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. Until then, take care. We love you. Adventures out there, and we'll see you in the parks.